Hello folks, welcome to the first episode of City Rabble. I'm Max Sanchez.
I'm Ed Chirico.
And this is, just kind of our first podcast here. I feel like maybe we might have a couple listeners kind of flowing over from our old YouTube channel, because we're probably going to be posting this on their
I think
first little bit.
I'm pretty sure this is where we're going to be posting everything, is just putting it right there, center it off, and give it to our community, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we're just, I guess, two nerds that like to talk about shit. We like shit, and we're going to talk about shit. So, this is how this is going to work, people.
It's not going to be necessarily just video games, is why we kind of had the are we going to put it on this channel, or are we going to move it around?
Yeah, we were kind of discussing that, but I mean, like, honestly, it feels great to just fucking talk about anything.
Yeah,
like,
just go about it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier, it's a little less intensive. We all have pretty busy lives, especially as of late, so this is a good way for us to be able to get some content out to you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoy what we have to say on our social commentary on these subjects that seem to come week to week, right?
And at least talk to you, dude, because I mean, like, fuck, at least we get to get together a little more often.
Yeah, we haven't really been able to get together nearly as much lately.
Fucking holidays, family shit, fuck
holidays.
God damn it.
Holidays, wedding for me.
Oh yeah,
like
family shit for me. You know what's going on there. So,
we got a few things that we get to talk about here. It's been quite an exciting couple weeks there, Max.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you've been really paying attention to the news as of late, but
but I guess before we even get into that though, like, why don't we kind of introduce ourselves to, like, maybe people who don't know who the fuck we are? Because let's put it this way: sometimes there's gonna be a point where someone's gonna hear this who's never seen our YouTube.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's gonna be a lot of people.
So I mean, give yourself a little intro.
My name's Edward Chirico. I guess I kind of got into collecting video games, I don't know, 10, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Something like that. I've amassed a fairly large collection.
It's pretty damn impressive. Obviously anyone can't see it right now.
Yeah. it's not too bad. It's all right. I got a few games. I tend to dabble in it, but...
And you got, like, movies, vinyl, and other shit.
Yeah, I'm a collector in general. Like, and I'm a music nerd, I'm a movie nerd, I'm a game nerd.
Comic nerd.
I collect comics as well. There's a lot of things that I just do on a side hobby thing. So my idea was, like, essentially being able to have a place to outlet all this everywhere. But I mean, Max and I met doing a video game convention in the Winnipeg area.
Yep.
Retro Gamers Unite was what it was called.
Absolutely.
It was with another great, I think they're doing podcasts now, but another great group called the Thrift Dwellers.
Absolutely.
So we kind of met through that, and it was just, I wanted to start doing videos with somebody, because I didn't really like doing it under my old name, which was 24-Bit Gamer.
And sometimes kind of talking by yourself gets a bit tiresome, right?
Yeah, it becomes a little much, right?
Yeah, just like talking to a camera, so...
But that's Edward Chirico in a nutshell. I kind of pay attention to every aspect of nerd culture. In some way, shape, or form. So I do have a couple things that I can talk about when this stuff happens.
Definitely.
So we got Max here.
I'm Max Sanchez, obviously born and raised here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. So like Ed, obviously I'm a big fan of all this nerd stuff. But I mean, I'm kind of into other stuff too. So, like, other than, like, video games, comics, movies, stuff like that, I've been into, like, aliens and, like, random stuff. It's like me, like I really want this podcast to, like, allow us to talk about anything, right?
Yeah, there's another there. You might enjoy one of the things that I kind of want to talk about a little bit. You have your phone, so we'll look at the video too, and I'll probably post some of these videos on the actual description and stuff, so that you can actually take a look at them. If we're talking about music stuff, we'll have stuff in there too. But yeah, no, we've been doing this for a long time now. We've always kind of just waxed intellects on all these things, so without any, like, waiting around, and you've kind of already got a couple minutes of us just rabbling about this stuff. So here we go. First topic I think we're going to talk about here is Bethesda.
Yes.
Last year, Bethesda just blew everybody out of the water with the last E3 panel that they had, where they kind of basically just said, "Hey, guess what? We are releasing Fallout 4, and we're giving it to you right away, like within the first 5-6 months from when E3 was," which was a huge statement.
And pretty rare when you go to, like, a lot of those kind of conventions. Like, I mean, you really have things where it's like, "Oh, hey, we're showing you this." You will see it years from now.
Yeah, like, an announcement at E3 doesn't mean you're ever going to see it even.
Yeah, that's very true.
Look at The Last Guardian. It was announced back in 2006, and we're still seeing announcements of it coming out next year or the year after.
And even with that one, I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, who knows what the hell's ever going to happen with
Is that ever going to come out?
Well, actually, kind of diverting onto The Last Guardian, that game actually worries the fuck out of me, just because I'm like, I don't know if people know what to expect from that game.
I think
they don't.
They don't know what it's going to be, right? Like, the most that we got is them crawling up a dog, and a really big dog that can't really fly but can kind of float a little bit.
And I have theories.
That's all we got.
We'll get into that when that game comes out.
But right Bethesda. Now, Bethesda. So the announcement that Bethesda did is that this year, again, for a second time, They are having another panel at E3.
Yeah.
Now, this brings up the question of what could they possibly be talking about, because for them to do a full panel at E3, it can't just be something simple. Yeah, it can't be Dishonored 2, or it can't be, hey, here's the Doom. It's coming out in a couple weeks. Like, a Doom as big as a game as it's looking out to be isn't enough to hold its own panel. So... Well, what do you think they're going to be talking about at this panel? Like, what else could they give?
Is going to be they're going to discuss Fallout 4 mods. That's going to be just a thing they're going to have to touch on. They have to, because I mean, they really promoted it when they discussed, obviously, the Xbox One version being the one.
I believe he just tweeted recently that it's coming soon. Like, somebody asked him on Twitter, and he responded with, keep your eyes open soon, or something similar to that effect on the tweet. So that, I think you're right about that. I think that's going to be one of the, not the main focuses, but I think it's going to be an aftershot of what their big thing is. So I'm trying to figure out what could that possibly big thing, because like I said, it's not going to be Doom. It's not going to be
standalone Skyrim game. It's going to happen.
They
need a new generation one. That one, Elder Scrolls was all right.
Well, no, but they're all Elder Scrolls games, right? So them to do an offline Elder Scrolls game would be huge for them. But could they possibly have had that on the back burner without anybody knowing?
Yep. 100% yes.
They're doing Elder Scrolls Online like currently, and they're still updating it and still doing DLC for it. Plus, they're doing all the stuff for Fallout 4. Do you think that Bethesda can burn themselves out by doing something like this?
The way I would look at it, you figure a company that big, and actually that's smart. Like, I forget the owner's or the CEO's name, but like they're pretty smart dudes there. So I mean, they're definitely going to be like parting out. Like, okay, we're going to have this team work on this one. You guys are Elder Scrolls Online, constantly work on this, because obviously they got to support that.
Yeah,
the product they fucking put out there. But I really feel like right in the back burner, fucking new Skyrim game. It has to be happening. And honestly, if you look at the last Skyrim game and even kind of Elder Scrolls Online, not the hugest graphical kind of differences between them.
No, so, they're very well. I mean, Fallout 4 is basically this. You want to know what I think it is? Do you want to know what I think it is? I think it's going to be an upscaled version of Skyrim. I think they're going to re-release Skyrim for the PS4 HD, because that's how Fallout 4 started in the first place. It was them trying to do an HD version of it, and they're like, hey, why don't we just use this engine for Fallout 4? And that's what they did. And so you know they're halfway built on that already.
Yeah. And you know what? Honestly, with the way the industry is, like, dude, that's probably a huge guarantee.
Yeah, I'm almost sure of it. Yeah. Like, look at HD Remakes is its own... It's its own entity now. There's more money in that than anything else. I look at all my shelf of my PS4 stuff. There's a lot of remakes on there, like stuff that isn't even all that old. It's only like Tomb Raider. It was only like a year old.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I got that on there, which is it's nice to be able to get these updates. But I'm starting to get burnt out on rebuying games, and like it's not that I won't. I will. But
and you know what? It's kind of this thing where it started on like the PS3, right? Like obviously you have like some of those like Ico collections, like the Metal Gear. Well,
all the Metal Gear stuff and the Devil May Cry's and
so this is something that's going on for a while. And I feel like for the longest time, people didn't give a shit. They were like, okay, whatever, it's there. Now it's kind of like so huge in front of us, we have to take notice. Like, they're just fucking doing this with so many
It's a moneymaker for them. And I get it, like in the middle of development hell of whatever you're dealing with, because it's got to be really daunting to do these things. To get some extra money towards that stuff, sometimes all it takes is an HD remake that you put out, which HD remakes are a lot more work than what we're letting them out to be. There is a lot that comes to upscaling something. So.
And I feel like we're seeing more of them on the PlayStation platform than Xbox right now, right?
So absolutely, more on PlayStation than Xbox, why I think that's what Bethesda's big announcement is. One of the big announcements is going to be anyway. It's going to be updated. They're going to have some more. I'm sure they're going to make it bigger though. They're probably going to add some stuff to it.
They really will,
but that's what I see them doing. I think that has a leg to stand on. That plus the mods, plus Dishonored 2 coming, plus because they own id Software too, right? So Doom, another Wolfenstein. I think they're going to announce another Wolfenstein coming out. Yeah, because Wolfenstein was a short game, but it was a good game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
actually, I still need to play the New Blood.
I haven't played New Blood either.
I bought the physical copy. I swear it's still in the goddamn.
I've got at least 5 or 6 games still in the plastic out there.
Fuck with that.
Yeah, whatever. We'll pick them up in 20 years and they'll be like, sealed.
Sealed, $500. Yeah, no well, yeah. So I mean, that's pretty much a possibility. But you don't know. I would still say new Skyrim.
It'd be bold for them. They're smart though. They don't want to. They don't ever.
It since the last one though?
Elder Scrolls Online technically was last year.
I wouldn't call that part of like the series of Skyrim though. So like when was the last Skyrim?
They're
Came out 2011.
Skyrim's just a singled out game, right? Because it's like Oblivion, Morrowind, Skyrim, and it's just different continents, really. And Elder Scrolls Online was all those continents in one place. It was all those put together. So you can visit a lot of the areas in Skyrim from Elder Scrolls Online. So it was an ambitious idea. It just didn't deliver quite the way that everybody wanted it to.
It sounded like such a good idea. And, like, honestly, I was liking it first. Like, I think when you kind of recommended to me, I was liking it at first. But then I got to this point where I was like, God damn it, I'm so, like, taken out of this story that I want to be in, because Skyrim did it so goddamn well.
It's dumb, but I miss being able to pick up spoons. I miss being able to pick up forks. Like, that stuff is gone. It's not there anymore in that game. And that was one of the things that I kind of missed.
Picking up random books and just, like, reading the lore of
the place. It's just random stuff that didn't need to be in there, but it was in there, and it really added to the game, you know? Like, it really gave it flavor. It made this world seem lived in, as opposed to just what it seems like now, which is just a game.
I can't recall what it was, but I swear there was like 1 or 2 books where I was like, I want to read like 1 or 2 pages more to like what's going on here.
To get that kind of idea of what the lore is, right?
It did a good job of doing that, but...
so that's what I think it is. I honestly don't... I couldn't see them talking... Me personally, I can't see them talking about a new one unless they're within a year of release. Pretty much. I don't see them being a year in release at this point, with the amount of stuff they're working on.
But there's going to be other stuff they announce. And you know what? It's kind of this thing now where I feel like a lot of these bigger companies are going to realize, hey, we don't need Comic-Con. We don't need E3 to do these events. We can just go do our own thing. And guess what? There's enough nerds to fill this event. There is. And
there really is.
So I really feel like you're going to see like other companies do this too. So
we are seeing
might be a thing of the past really in a couple of years. It might be not the big entity that it is.
Well, no, there's Gamescom, there's PlayStation Experience, there's so many different outlets that can center towards your specific style of gaming.
Exactly. Yeah.
E3 being, a lot of people find that as a bigger one, but it's still, I think it's going to calm down a little bit throughout the years, but this year still, I don't think it's going to be calmed down.
Yeah.
What other predictions do you have for E3 just in general?
Well, or like, do you mean Bethesda?
No, just E3 in general.
Oh, E3. Oh, geez,
we've got the Bethesda out, so.
You know what? At this point, I feel like we're not going to hear a lot of new at E3. We're just going to hear more about No Man's Sky, Scalebound, a bunch of like other stuff that's been delayed, and we'll just hear more about that.
We're going to hear a lot of delays, I think. I think that's going to be the big thing.
Mighty Number 9, delay again.
But fourth time.
Again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's driving me nuts. Every time I'm getting like a week away from getting it, and then they're just like, and it's back another month.
That's actually a whole topic of conversation on itself.
It really is. But that brings us up to the thing with what I was saying with Bethesda announcing things too soon, because then you disappoint fans.
That's very true, actually. And that's something we don't really consider. And I mean, nowadays with again, I guess go back to Inafune, with Kickstarter now, people are really introduced to the stuff way too early in its development cycle.
It's just a name.
No, it really is.
Points,
and I feel like people, when they hear about this stuff, they don't realize, hey guys, there's so much work, there's so much testing that
there's a lot to it.
Yeah,
look at have you been paying attention to any of the which, by the way, I'm very excited for Friday the 13th, the game that's coming out. Have you been paying attention to some of the beta stuff that's been going on?
No, not really.
It's choppy as hell. I've watched Jason go around. It's at a point, at least the last time I watched some beta testing, it was at a point where Jason was like skipping 30 frames in between going after counselors because it's that early in development. And people are expecting to be able to see this thing by October next year. There's no way that's going to happen. I would love it to be. I would hands down love this game to come out by then.
And you know what? Maybe here's the issue with putting a license on that shit. Because if there was no license on it, there's the freedom to make this product the best you can.
Whatever it is. There's no restrictions.
And now once you put that license, it's got to hit October. It's got to hit like it close to a Friday the 13th as much as they can. Or just October.
Right now they're getting the equivalent of an X rating off of the death scenes and stuff like that is happening in there. So they're getting X ratings on it.
But if Jason's like fucking chopping around like a PS2 game,
what's it worth? Yeah, does it matter how violent it is? You're just playing Manhunt again, which is also another one that
actually that game needs to get fucking brought back. Like goddamn Manhunt.
Yeah, doing another one of those. Yeah, the game was a good game. It was more of a novelty that just worked. Is what it was.
It really did. Well, I was a really big fan of the first one. The second one completely fucked it up. But,
absolutely. Yeah. So my E3 predictions definitely delays. I promise you 100%. Final Fantasy VII Remake, delayed. Guaranteed, because they're talking about having it within the year. No chance. Right now they are so busy with Final Fantasy 15. It's right around the corner. Having Kingdom Hearts still in development. Not to mention any of the smaller games that they've been kind of working on. Plus, then Deus Ex and the Tomb Raider, supporting Tomb Raider, bringing that to the PS4.
Oh, okay.
No chance that we are going to see Final Fantasy Remake. And plus, on top of that, it only started developing a year ago, right? About a year ago.
And this is maybe a reason why they're going through that episode kind of goddamn thing.
Well,
so this way
so
they
that
can
it
get
can be
around.
released.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to throw the first episode down there, then like a year later, whatever. Hey,
here's
number 2.
Here's episode 2. You know, now that you've just gotten out of Midgar, like that's what I see happening with at least Final Fantasy VII.
Mm-hmm.
I see Last Guardian being pushed again because they were saying it was going to be a 2016 release or a release window in 2016.
Again,
there's no way.
Who knows?
I think it'll be, if we do see it, it's going to be mid 17, if that. Yeah, like, and that's a hope. Because I absolutely love Shadow of Colossus. Ico was good, not as good as Shadow for me, but it was still both very good games. So I see that as a pushback. I see, honestly, I see Dark Souls 3 taking the show. This one, by far. Like him, love him, hate him. Dark Souls is it's
a juggernaut on its own.
Yeah, it really is a juggernaut, and it came out of nowhere, and that's the big part about it, right? Like, when Demon Souls came out, it was a blip on the radar for most gamers.
It was one of those games that like just steadily grew like steam on its own. Just like, hey, you heard of this game Dark Souls?
It's really punishing.
It's gonna fuck you up, yeah.
Yeah, it's Nintendo hard, is what they say, but it isn't Nintendo hard. I can pass Nintendo games. There's some of these bosses in this fucking game I just can't. Like, right now I'm stuck on the DLC on Dark Souls 2 because I'm playing through it for just before they come out with the third one. Yeah. Holy Christ, like, I never beat the DLCs on them, and now I remember why I put it down in the first place. It's punishing as shit.
Well, that game, I have barely a couple experience with it. I've played a couple of hours, and I'm just like, I get it. I understand why people are so addicted to it. Because it's that thing where it's like, I gotta beat it. I got it. I can beat it, and I will beat it, is what it is, because they give you all the tools to do it.
I
get that. And again, I think, like you said, Nintendo hard. It goes back to those Nintendo days where I was like, fucking Mega Man, gotta get to the boss.
I will do this, you know?
Yep. And now I'm just like, I don't have time. I just want to play something that's fun and just like...
See, and that's where I get my fun, right?
Yeah.
I still
You're a masochist.
I am. I really am. When it comes to games, I like punishing myself.
Yeah.
I really like difficult games. I've always been a fan of them. So I'm personally pretty excited for Dark Souls 3. That being said, that's not really a bearing upon what I think is going to happen. I just think it's going to be the juggernaut there. It's going to be huge. Right now, the buzz on the internet for what's going on with Dark Souls 3, people are excited to sell. It's probably, aside from Final Fantasy 7, because that's its own juggernaut,
I think
one of the most excited.
Yeah, because like, what else is everyone kind of excited for?
Can't think of anything. Fallout 4 was the one, right?
Yeah, once that hit, okay, like you said. Goddamn Dark Souls 3. So, yeah, there's really nothing else that's kind of coming out.
I think this year is not going to be the most tremendous year. I think
last year was fucking crazy. Like, how many goddamn games came out?
You know why I think last year's was so crazy is that there was nothing for a year. Mm-hmm. The launch year was terrible for PS4 and Xbox One. Nobody talks about that first year. Nope. That second year was great. That first year was terrible. I was a backer for both systems pretty much right from the get-go. In Wii U included. Wii U was the best system out at that point because it was the only one releasing games that was decent.
And I was going to say, even that point, like, not
there
great. Wasn't even a ton of great games, but I
mean, clearly within the year, PS4 is like just skyrocketed. They're doing great. Yeah. Xbox One, not nearly as much. You know, I don't hear too many people talking about their Xbox Ones, but I hear people talking about the PS4 game that they're playing.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just, right now, Xbox One has fucking shit exclusives, right? Like, yeah, everyone got excited about Halo 5. How many people are still talking about Halo 5?
I bought it.
I don't hear anyone talking about it.
I played it for like a month, and I was just like, and I didn't even play it for the month. I just like casually played it.
And that's kind of what I thought was going to happen with that game, because it's like you had Bungie doing the games forever,
and now this new freaking company's taken over.
It's like 989.
It's not even close. Yeah, 989, and Bungie went on to go and create another juggernaut, Destiny, which people have burnt themselves out on.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to put the time into well, okay, you're going to chastise me on this one, World, but no, not as many people. Like, I think they've probably decreased by 50% of their mass of people that were playing that game are not playing it anymore.
Well, I think it's something to be said about, like, certain MMOs. Like, yes, the MMO kind of formula is going to work for a certain type of game. I feel like anything like WoW, League of Legends, that it really works for that, but I mean a shooter, I don't know if I can really stick with a shooter for that long.
For me, it was like, because I invested a fair amount of time into it, I think. You know, I got myself up to max level, and then they got the new cap, and I got that up to halfway max level, and I'm like, you know what? I don't care anymore.
The light pissed me off. I couldn't deal with the fucking light.
Yeah, once light got, and then they kind of like changed it for the DLC. Light doesn't matter nearly as much, you know, like it's not that big of a deal.
I think I don't think it matters at all.
It's a bonus on top of
exactly,
it's
which
weird.
is what it should have been.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been such
a
an important part before because the management on drops on that game was ridiculous. But I think we're getting a little bit off topic on that. But the point is Destiny 2 is going to be probably talked about there because there's a lot of people buzzing about it.
Or the next expansion.
Well, no, they're saying Destiny 2 is the next thing.
Oh, it's just Destiny 2.
That's what Bungie's saying.
Straight up to Destiny
2 is the next thing.
Goddamn, they're gonna kill it pretty fast.
I think they are too.
Yeah, because it's like what, it came out a year and a half ago. 2014, right?
Yeah.
2015, Taken King.
And then
out.
Okay,
they're doing it way too fast.
Yeah, it's going to be another year, I think, at least before the next one comes out. But
see, it should have been a thing where it was like random generated maps. Because for me, what killed me that game is goddamn doing the same thing
over and over
again.
Oh, like I get to do the same.
Yes,
I didn't get the drop I needed.
Yeah,
I didn't get the drop I needed on that. So I guess I'll go find 3 other people to do this with.
Yeah.
Or you're lucky and you manage to get 5 friends that you do this with constantly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Ryan. Ryan was one of those. Our friend, we have a friend Ryan that's pretty heavy into this, and he has friends that he does
Crazy
this with.
Destiny,
Which is great because if you have that type of friends or if that type of people that surround you, you can do this type of game. It's perfect for that type of environment. It's a bro game at this point. It's really not too far off. Yeah, it's not too far off from a bro game. Just the same way that freaking Madden is. I
was literally just to bring up Madden. Like, is it going to be like that? Yeah, Destiny 2016. Destiny
like
2017.
roster upstate.
Dude, it's going to get crazy.
Great.
I don't know if
Peyton Manning's in this one.
I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing for the industry. I just feel like it's where it's going.
I think we're at this point where I think we need to let some franchises burn out and just kind of die for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then bring it back. Assassin's Creed, they've announced that they're taking a year off.
Assassin's Creed,
which needs to happen. Call of Duty will never stop, and that's the word. We're still going to get the yearly updates on that.
Honestly, with that game, dude, I'm like at the point where it just needs to be an app. Just fucking app it. You get maps for your app purchase. If you renew it every year, you get to keep the old maps and get new ones or
whatever it is.
Like it's
subscription based.
Yes, they have to change. Honestly, to me, that is a little more reasonable than a new game every year because it's getting to that point. How many people can play the single player? God damn it!
Oh, geez,
barely any.
Barely anybody. Mm-hmm. So. On that note, we've got already really big off topic. We kind of talked a little bit too much about E3, but we're all very heated about this.
Video games.
This is our video game aspect. We're going to talk a little about YouTube. So I'm sure all of you know about the recent thing that happened with our lovely. Because I think it's a 4 million subscriber channel, the Fine Bros.
Fine Bros Entertainment, the React channel, as they're known for other people.
The things that they were trying to patent. Yeah. So, just to get you up to date, if you haven't heard, which I'm pretty sure almost everybody has, Fine Bros had put out some licensing.
They tried to trademark the word React. So basically,
more than just React. It was React. It was they're trying
Elders
to
and teams.
Try not to laugh was another thing they tried to.
So basically, anything they do.
Yeah, any type of thing that even closely relates to it, you were not allowed to do. And what they were planning on doing is to have a sign-up process where you can go through Fine Bros. And give them a portion of whatever you make.
Oh, the franchise thing they were doing.
Yeah, that's what they were trying. This was their idea. And you have to go through them to do a reaction video. Reaction videos, go do me a favor, internet. Go look up 2 Girls in a Cup reactions. It was long before.
No kidding.
Long before any type of Fine Bros that ever happened.
And the sad thing, did you watch these guys before any of this?
Well, no. Okay, well, Steph would watch them because she found it funny seeing the elders react to stuff. I hated them back then. Like Steph will definitely tell you how much I hated them. I'm like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life, and she thought it was funny, which is fine. So I kept the subscription on for her, so she could watch.
I actually like the channel. See, here's the thing: I found the value. Just like, you know what, just put something in front of people. Just see a reaction. Whether or not it was something I cared about, I was like, okay, I'll watch the next episode.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look into it a little bit deeper, every single person on that show is an actor. Literally, you can go through the Actors Guild. Yeah. All of them work in the Actors Guild. So,
is
it reaction?
And I've heard that, and my thing was always like, you know what? For me, it's better to get just because they're an actor doesn't mean they can't have their own opinion.
No, agreed.
So I was just like, okay, you know what? As long as you get someone who's comfortable in front of the camera, charismatic, and can carry themselves in a conversation.
It's just an interview process.
Exactly, that's all it is. So to me, that was fine. That was whatever. I didn't really care about that. But when they pulled this trademarking shit. I was like, you know what?
So yeah, I guess
Screw it.
on with the
I'm
rest of
done.
the story.
Yeah.
There's another YouTuber, a retro gamer. If you
8-Bit
haven't heard of him,
Eric.
his name 8-Bit Eric. I don't know if this is the only person they did it to. I know there's a couple people that did it to, but 8-Bit Eric is the one that kind of like blew up in our community.
Yep.
And they flagged him for doing a react video on reaction videos. And it was just a play of jokes. Yeah, it was just a joke.
Not even a joke. He was literally reacting to the episodes where the teens are playing Nintendo games, which he does. He's 8-Bit Eric. That's
the thing he does, right?
So he's reacting to it. There's nothing fucking wrong with that.
Yeah, which is fine. Go ahead, do it. But the thing that happened is the reaction name came up in the title,
Yep.
which brought his views from what he normally would get 2,000 views maybe on his video, and it jumped to like 200,000 views.
Exactly, yeah.
And
Probably
that got the
more
attention of the Fine Bros to flag him.
Yeah.
And basically take his stuff down. And I don't know the actual legitimacy behind this, but there was a point that I heard his videos were gone. You cannot look up his videos because they took them off YouTube.
Yeah, pretty much. I think they went and posted a bunch of them on their website. Because basically he does a website with like Alpha Mega Sin.
Yeah, all those
called
type of things,
finalbosses.com. Yeah, so basically I think they went and posted all there. Because like, you know what? Fuck YouTube. You guys don't get any of this if we post it on our own website. So I think they're available on there if you want to take a look
Which,
at it.
regardless of anything, I'm not an 8-Bit Eric fan. I don't think he's a good YouTuber. I personally, I just don't like what he does. I think he rips on other people's styles all the time. This is just a personal level, you know. I'm not trying to say I don't like him as a person. I just don't like his YouTube channel. I've tried watching it for a while and I didn't like it. So
Exactly.
But it doesn't take away from the fact that what happened to him was unfair, unjust.
Exactly.
It
He
shouldn't have
didn't
happened.
deserve it. No, he did not deserve it. He wasn't, again, doing anything wrong. Just doing what people do on YouTube and just posting goddamn videos about shit.
Well, yeah, and
that they don't own the rights to in any way for, like...
Yeah,
the
that's
games
the thing, is they were
play,
still a month away
movies,
from
yeah.
getting the actual patent on this. If they would have kept their mouths shut for a month,
Yep.
they would have gotten the patent. Because
Gotten away with it.
nobody was contesting them at that point
Yeah.
because they didn't know that they were really doing it. They could have gotten away with it. But instead, they're idiots because they're sorry, but they're fucktards. I hate them.
Yeah, at this point.
But I hated them before, but I especially hate them now. Like, all they had to do was just shut up.
Yeah.
If they did that, they would have gotten it, and they would have been able to do all this stuff to these people if they really wanted to, which they clearly did, regardless of their blowback video that they released, being like, "That's not what I meant. I meant reaction as in shut up. I don't care. Just get out of here."
Like, the damage control came out pretty damn fast.
Like, well, yeah. Well, I mean, there was a YouTube channel.
Unsubscribes.
Yeah, the unsubscribe channel
Yep.
that was like doing a live unsubscribe feed. It wasn't that dramatic. They only lost like
Couple
a half.
100,000.
It was like 500,000 or something like that. They lost.
But you know what? That's a pretty substantial amount for any...
in a 4
personal-
million
Within like a
count,
day or
though,
two span?
Yeah, that's
a
probably-
lot.
If you think about how much they actually like lost in that, like revenue wise, it's like pennies per person.
And
So-
I've heard the comment that really it's going to come down to the views, right? If it doesn't affect the views, then
It doesn't matter.
It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
subscriptions, likes, and thumbs ups don't mean a lot. All that does is
The
just
views.
it just brings it out
All
to
the
other
views.
people because, oh, hey, look, this person liked this. This person commented on this. So that's what they are. Like they thrive on the actual views itself, which they got tons during that because everybody was trying to look at the damn feed. I guess.
Exactly.
I'll admit I went onto a couple of their videos because I just wanted to see people bitch at them, and I did, and I watched, and that's certainly what was going on.
See, and I think we all got pretty damn vengeful. I kind of went to a couple videos and was like, unlike, dislike, dislike, dislike.
Yeah, I
just
did
to
some
fuck
dislikes.
with it.
Just like, hey, man, like
Yeah.
what you did was wrong, and they don't think it. They think that what they did is right.
Well, yes, I know, and they've since apologized, which is probably complete bullshit.
Apologies
They're just
are
like,
just-
God damn it, we didn't get it.
like we
that's
screwed
kind of
up.
thing,
It's
yeah.
it's backlash. That's all that is.
Because you're right, they should have shut the fuck up.
Yeah, if they
they
just-
didn't, they would have owned it and been fine.
It would have been done.
Wrong.
Yeah, by next month they could flag anybody they wanted, but
Yeah.
it's too late now. Now we have half of YouTube going down on them and
Which-
like trying to like go against them on this.
I
type
guess
thing.
this is kind of a topic for like what's happening with YouTube right now. Because I mean, like,
Huh.
it's kind of turning into its own goddamn network.
It
really
is. Well, what is it?
They did the subscription thing, right? Which is kind of fell on its face already.
Yeah, it didn't do anything.
Does
for
anyone
anyone.
talk about that damn thing anymore?
Red Tube or whatever it is.
RedTube?
Yeah,
Like, was it 3 months ago?
Yeah, it was about half a year ago.
Yeah, like 6
And
months ago. Fucking no
It
one
didn't really
talks
do
about
anything. Nobody cared about it. It disappeared. But what I am seeing is that them trying to still get a leg on things like Retro Liberty.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They YouTube themselves went and approached them to make a show called Grid Gaming, and it was terrible. Like, I watched it.
It
was really poorly done because it's done by, like, I like them. They're great. I actually like watching the show.
Aaron, you're great. If you ever hear this, dude, I love you.
Yeah, no, seriously, it's not against you guys.
You too, Ricky. Love you too, Ricky.
Yeah.
Ricky. You're just like, okay, fuck Ricky. He doesn't matter.
Did you see? They're like, fuck the Mexican is what they did.
I know, right?
They're like, bring Aaron on. He's got some character. You can feature that guy anytime you want, but just don't do it too often, all right?
You know what? It was whatever for what it was. I didn't think it was terrible. I've certainly seen worse on YouTube.
Me too.
So I was like, you know what? Maybe just not the right direction it should have gone.
Yeah.
But now, actually, those guys are completely... I think they've gotten offers from actual networks about putting their show on.
Maybe. That's a good possibility.
I've seen... Aaron's actually posted on his Facebook, like, contracts.
Oh,
so it's like, that they might be getting legit very soon.
Well, that would be good for them, and I think that would be great, but I don't think YouTube was the way to go.
It was a good place to get noticed.
Get noticed, yeah. They're better off doing something...
TV.
Well, TV's dead now, too, really.
Yeah.
But they could do something with Netflix or something, something along those lines where it could go in. Like, Netflix needs some sort of, like, daily news service.
Or, like, some type of... Well, more nerd content.
Yeah,
it's
something.
Good, so...
Right?
Yeah, that's kind of where it's at. With
that's what I'm seeing with them. And YouTube has been doing a lot of that stuff. And from what I've recently heard, Metal Jesus is getting offers from
nice.
YouTube for doing
that
retro.
Dude deserves shit. That dude deserves shit.
Well, he's one of the... I don't know if he's a god, like... I don't know if he's like...
He's
one
Metal
of the
Jesus, so he's God, apparently.
Yeah.
Son of God.
I don't know if it's like the forefathers. He's not quite at that point, you know. Like, he's not the nerd. He's not NES punk, you know. Like, he's not like that.
But that dude
that long. But he's been on for a long time.
But that dude commands respect amongst like the hardcore collectors, right?
Yeah.
Like, anytime I've met a hardcore collector, like when I used to work at a P&P, old video game store. Like dude, fucking
Metal Jesus
always came up. Fucking Metal Jesus. Because dude knows what he's talking about. Has awesome.
There's a couple like underwhelmed, I call them underwhelmed YouTubers that are really big that kind of go onto people's radars to like the mainstream.
Yeah.
But anybody that even kind of looks into it finds them. And you're looking at Metal Jesus, and you're looking at Gamester 81, and you're looking at Retro Liberty. These are like main stage people, but they're just not the highest people up. You know, like Game Chasers are getting there, and they get a lot of guff for what they do, and they shouldn't. I like their show to a degree. You know, like it's not bad, and yes, some of their stuff
idiots. They're complete morons.
I don't think they stage their pickups, but I think they stage their reactions to things. You know what I mean? Like the way that they interact. I think that they kind of plan some of those things out. I don't think they plan out finding stuff. I think all that stuff is legitimately found the way that they find it. But that's one of their biggest gripes is that people are coming after them saying, "Oh, you planted that. You planted that little."
It's like, do you know how much work it would be just to like go ahead and plant that shit?
Yeah, it's not worth it. No,
it's not.
Have you seen how they live? Exactly. I've watched videos of them just doing their stuff at home. They're not like, they don't have tons of money. They can't afford to go and just buy a regular price Samsung and put it into a
thing,
that's
right? Insane, right?
So like the state of YouTube is not bad. It's just not. There's a lot of nooks and crannies that are being like exploited recently that people are seeing. So I could see potential of it going back to the way it is, but not really. I think,
if anything, it's just going to get worse.
I think it's going to get worse.
Once Google and like big money got involved, they got to get that.
Well, that's another thing. Look at that Google Plus thing. Like that disappeared pretty quick too. Within the year, it was gone. Nobody cares, right?
But I mean, they generate billions. Well, Google generates billions. I mean, throwing money at YouTube, Google Plus. Well, what is it? The Google Glass or whatever.
Google Glasses.
They have money to throw away. So I mean, once big money like that get involved into a thing like YouTube, it can be a really bad thing because, like I said, they got to recoup that money back somehow.
They really do.
They do. So,
all right, next topic. We got to get going past video games here because this isn't just a video game podcast.
It's not, but today apparently is.
Yeah, there's quite a bit on here. The next thing that we're going to be talking about here is this next year in superhero fatigue.
Yes, superheroes.
Because let's face it, there is so many superhero movies coming out, I think it hits pinnacle last year.
Yeah.
That was the big shit for people. You know, that's where people really care.
If you're a comic book fan, this is like the era for
you're
this
happy
is your
to be living
era
right now. Yeah, like I am a huge comic book fan, and I'm lucky because like my wife is also a huge like comic-ish nerd. Like she doesn't necessarily read a ton of comics, but she does read a lot of graphic novels and stuff. But she's really interested in them.
Exactly.
Valentine's Day is only a week away, and
guess what's coming out?
And we're going to Deadpool. So it's what she wanted to do. It's not. It's great for me. I love it. How can I complain? I get to go see Deadpool for freaking Valentine's Day.
And it's a wonderful thing. Probably we're like, well, you know, I listen to a lot of like Kevin Smith podcasts, and he always talks about like the '80s when like Batman was coming out.
Yeah.
And just the fact that this is like new crazy thing where it's like people who again would never see comic books or be
checking these things out
are looking at these things now. And now the fact that these movies are like infinitely times better.
Oh yeah.
How can you not take notice of this stuff? You have to.
I say infinitely times better, to a degree. Depends on which side you're watching, because I think DC's rushing themselves out a little bit too fast here. They did a great trilogy of the Batman.
Yeah.
Doing Begins.
Here's
Return.
the thing with that though. That is not really DC Batman though, right? That's just DC license for the name Batman. That was a Christopher Nolan.
But it was well done by Christopher Nolan. Like
beautiful movie.
You know, like I'm not going to blow. A lot of people have their gripes about Christopher Nolan and stuff that he's done past that. That was a great masterpiece.
Dark Knight.
I hated Begins. I thought Begins was boring.
Yeah,
it was such a chore to sit through. But
Dark Knight.
The next two were great. I enjoyed them. Like people kind of gave a little bit of Dark Knight Returns being a big thing. Like,
well, here's my thing with.
I liked it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But like, here's my thing with like DC and Marvel movies. And actually, I was like just watching a bunch of shit on Netflix this weekend, where it's like DC animation knows how to do their shit so
Animation's
fucking tight.
it's great.
Justice League War. I just watched it. It was the most amazing Justice League movie of all time.
I got
Darkseid and shit.
Have you seen the Suicide Squad one? That one's an awesome one. I have it here. It's great. See that one, actually. But yeah, you're right. DC nails the animation
and
universe.
Their movies are fucking terrible. God.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I like those Batman ones.
But they're not technically DC Batman.
No, they're
right?
not. They're written
in the real world, which is not the DC world.
Yeah, okay, so right now, in the future, the things that are coming up, we got Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
I'm really looking forward to Leto's fucking Joker in that. I want to see what he does. I had my, really tattoos all over him, but I think I've turned around on it. I think he's going to be able to pull the Psycho the way that he needs to.
I don't mind Leto. That's actually my least of my concerns. Fucking Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn
she's hot. I'll give her that, whatever.
In the past...
I don't like it. No.
Several years, we've seen an uprising in very niche characters that were never really meant to be big, got huge, which is the Deadpools and the Harley Quinns. Harley Quinn was never meant to be big. She was created for the
We're
animation.
getting a goddamn Black Panther movie, for fuck's sake. So, I mean, shit's going down.
Forget really that, Doctor Strange. I know people are saying
that. Fucking Cumberbatch.
Yeah, he's not a big character to most people. You know, like if you're big into the Marvel Universe, he is huge. Mm-hmm. But if you're not a huge Marvel fan, you just kind of scratch the surface. Doctor Strange, you're like, who the hell's that? Yeah. Like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm really looking forward to it, though.
It's gonna be
I think it's really cool that they're doing this type of, they're at this point now, Marvel's trying to take chances on lesser-known properties. Guardians of the Galaxy
running out of shit, right? I mean, they got Avengers out, they got X-Men out, Spider-Man
Well, I mean,
out,
they can't do
Fantastic Four, but I mean,
Fantastic Four and X-Men aren't Marvel, right? That's Sony, and
but they're Marvel properties, right?
True.
So I mean, these things are still
Marvel
out
can't do them. So since Marvel can't do them, they're trying to dig into other things.
Fox movies, okay.
If we're looking at that, that's where they came out with Guardians of the Galaxy, which was a sleeper hit.
Who the fuck heard of Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, I knew Raccoon because, number one, it crosses over into our video game universe, right? So that's part of Marvel versus Capcom. He's in there. He's one of the main characters.
Only 3, right?
Well, we're talking Raccoon, right? Yeah, the third one. Yeah, I think he was in one of the early ones too. I can't remember.
Recall him being in the other ones, but okay.
But either way, I know for sure the third one. So he does cross in our paths every there. But I was a Guardians fan from before. I've always been.
Never heard of him.
See, Infinity Gauntlet has been something that I've been interested in a long time.
Well, and see, I had heard of the Infinity Gauntlet, I think, like you said, from the superheroes and then getting into some of those comics, because in the 90s, they kind of referenced that era of the fucking, what's it called? Losing my train of thought here. I guess the canon.
Yeah, okay. So canon.
So the 90s dealt with a lot of canon of the Infinity Gauntlet. Thanos was a big part of that.
He was one of the worst.
The main bad guy. Well,
pretty close. It was him and Apocalypse really were the big ones. And Galactus and stuff. If you really want to get into
Galactus is more 80s and shit like that. More 70s. He kind of dropped out after they didn't know what the fuck to do with
him. No, they kind of Silver Surfer came out of him, and that was the big thing, right? Yeah. So we were kind of going off topic here.
Okay, yes.
The point is that Thanos and Apocalypse. These two are the big ones in the Marvel Universe. These are the ones that are the biggest opening threat on all these superheroes that are in there. And right now we have Sony taking care of all the Apocalypse stuff, which it doesn't look... I don't like the way he looks, but I think he's going to pull it off really well.
Those fucking images, Ivanhoe's images, fuck, goddammit. And then you see the cosplayers who
do it better.
It's the goddamn comic book character come to life. And
perfect. And then you go to this and it's completely different. No. I understand trying to put your own flavor on it, but okay, that's fine. You can't make everybody look so over the top, especially when you're trying to build a real universe.
To be fair, I fucking hated Hugh Jackman as Wolverine the first one, but now that he's jacked as shit
I can't
as Wolverine,
think of anybody else being him.
No, he is Wolverine.
Yeah, he's just Wolverine.
He better die as Wolverine.
One person that I can think of, like Halle Berry, is not Storm to me. I can live without her. She's annoying. She
was a pretty face. Let's put it that way. She was the pretty face they had to put in that.
Yeah, but she destroyed the Storm character just because she wanted a bigger role. Like she's like, if I'm going to be in this movie, I deserve to be up front.
Yeah.
Like Storm did have her moment in the sun.
Well, she was the leader of the X-Men
at one point.
Right?
Yes, she had some moments, but she wasn't the dominating role that Halle Berry's trying to make her. No. Halle Berry's just trying to make it that way, which is fine. It's the Sony universe. Days of Future Past really erased a lot of that.
And I fucking love that. Just like, right at the end, all of those movies didn't matter.
Didn't matter. It's gone. And they did a wonderful job of it because those movies really didn't matter to most people. They were like, okay. Like, it was the closest we were going to get to X-Men on the screen.
I kind of find it interesting, though, how it's like, what, in the 80s, the Apocalypse one?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't. I get, like, the storyline, how it's going to play in that era, but I mean, I find it weird how they've kind of taken this huge step back in terms of the timeline.
Well, I mean, when you start messing with time travel in a movie, that's what Days of Future Past is all about.
Exactly.
It's hard to back away from it.
That's very true. Yeah, you kind of have to kind of just okay, we're here. Let's just
do this.
Let's just do this. Yeah.
And that's kind of what I think that they've kind of put back themselves in a corner there. But then you jump over to the Marvel side of things. Okay, well, I'm actually one more Sony thing that I'm going to talk about is Deadpool. Deadpool looks great.
Yep.
I think Ryan Reynolds being the person that's in there is a perfect choice. I know there's some other podcasts that you and I personally listen to. They don't like that he's in there, and I think it's good.
No, well, if you hear from like the creator of Deadpool, hey, when I was creating this, Ryan Reynolds was the guy I was thinking of. What? So at that point,
not even that. Ryan Reynolds was the one that got this thing going. If it weren't for him, it wasn't going to happen. Like he made this thing happen.
And to be fair, after they fucked it up in what Origins?
Wolverine Origins. Yeah,
the fact we're getting
take his mouth. Amazing. No, I'm quite happy about it. Like to me, I think Deadpool is a great property. I'm a huge fan. I've been collecting his comics forever, so
and it already has 100% ratings on like Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's doing
like
great.
Just perfect movie ever.
And I've heard some gripes. I think it was IGN. They kind of gave it like a 7.5. But
it's fucking
for IGN to give a 7.5 isn't bad. Most of the movies I ever see them review is always at like 5. Like it's like they're so indecisive about it whether it being a good movie or not.
Well, I don't go to them for my movie reviews.
Right? So, I barely go there for freaking game reviews. I go there just to hear what the game's about because they're very comprehensive to say what it's about. I don't care what their opinion is. I just care about what it is.
Exactly.
So like I kind of look on some stuff like that. But when it comes to movies, I tend to make my own decisions based on it. But I think that we're going to get a really good Deadpool movie here. I think
pretty much.
They're doing the right story. It's a half origin, half revenge story. So it's like kind of dipping into his origins a little bit.
Now, with most characters, I would say, you know what, leave the origins out. You don't need to know Spider-Man's origins, fucking Superman's origins, Batman's origins.
He's too much like other characters for him not to do it.
Well, no, but I was gonna say, but it's Deadpool though. So let's put it this way: nerd culture, and anyone who might be listening to the show, you know who Deadpool is, right? But I mean, your parents might have heard of the X-Men, might have heard of Spider-Man, right?
But they haven't heard about Deadpool.
They haven't heard of Deadpool.
Deadpool is... This guy's losing his arms and it's coming back.
Absolutely.
What's going on? Like,
and then the fucking,
he can just put it back on. Like
the advertising campaigns where he's like all just fucking like.
Oh, one thing I will say: the marketing on this movie
so beautiful.
Has been amazing. I've never seen somebody a company market a movie so well. At the point when all these marketing ploys were coming out, I didn't care how good the movie was. I'm like, this marketing's fucking awesome. They're doing great. If I only ever see all this marketing for the rest of my life, I'm happy. I got to see something with Deadpool.
It's to the point where like they need to have like just like a special edition disc with all just
the marketing
and shit.
Because there's a lot.
Just all of it, yeah.
Like you see the Aussie one where he's wearing the hat and stuff. Like fuck, I just love it. It's great. It's awesome.
And you got to tell like, okay, Fox, maybe they're just like, you know what? Let's just give her. Because now they're really like putting all their money behind this, right? Like, really were like Deadpool's got.
Well, they saw. What
they gave up Spider-Man already. The Spider-Man's gone to.
Well, it's not gone. It's 50-50. So what they've done is they've licensed their Spider-Man for Marvel to use, so that they get money from it still.
"Quote unquote," theirs.
It's a financial gain for them, and it makes sense. Like they should probably just do that with everything. I think they should give X-Men to Marvel. I think they should give Fantastic Four to Marvel.
Yeah.
Let them do it. Get your piece of the pie. because you want it. That's all you want. You're going to make more money from Marvel doing it and getting that piece of the pie as opposed to making your own. Look what Fantastic Four, the reboot did. It is garbage.
I got to ask, do you think they can honestly salvage Fantastic Four?
No, I don't even think Marvel could salvage it. Nobody would trust it. I mean, maybe if Marvel takes it and advertises that this is Marvel's take on it.
Didn't they get rid of the comic series already?
Yeah, well, they dropped it because
no one fucking cared. Like,
nobody cared because Sony's been destroying it for years.
See, I really think that, unfortunately, we might have to accept that Fantastic Four was a product of its era.
It was.
Like 60s and 70s, like, sci-fi-ness going on.
It's true.
That shit is not prevalent anymore.
LA Noir, like, the noir comics are gone. They died.
Yeah.
So the Silver Age is not there. You don't have the gung-ho thumbs-up Superman anymore. That isn't around.
Even Captain America had to kind of get retooled a little bit to kind of work in our era.
They did. They had to turn him into a almost emo blonde kid, you know, like
a little bit,
like,
yeah,
almost like that's what they're kind of.
He's
doing.
never really happy, right? Like
yeah.
Captain America, like I remember, like in the Silver Age, like he was always like happy about being American and being that image, but he would have that small moment where like, hey, that shit's not America.
That is
right?
corrupt.
That is not America, right there.
Yeah, like, and then he was.
And now he's just always like that. He's just always like questioning everything. Always,
and before he wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't like that.
Yeah, but then I mean, Captain America is one that goes with the times, right? He can change however America is that at that point in time in the comic books.
True.
So if America seems really corrupt around the Nixon years, he was very like anti
politicians.
Yeah, politicians,
really.
right? Like he's like, I'm going to be the politician, right? And then it went on to doing like the Reagan stuff, and he was more like America, you know, like I'm America.
Yeah.
So which brings us on to the next movie coming out is Civil War is coming, which I want to say I'm super excited for because the comic series was amazing. The only thing I think is going to be salvageable out of this is the fact that we are getting Black Panther and we are getting Spider-Man in this movie. They're going to be in it. It has been confirmed.
Yes,
they are in it.
Which I'm kind of glad we haven't seen Spider-Man in it, but my kind of gripe about the advertising campaign is we've seen too many trailers at this point.
Yeah,
we've really seen too much of this movie.
The last time I watched it, it just seems too much about Bucky, and I'm just like, that's not really what.
Well, of course,
it wasn't about Bucky. You know, it was about the censorship and making mutants register.
Well, here's the thing, though. In the Bucky's just the thing to kind of latch onto because it's still about that, right? The whole
no, it is. They're just
hero registers and all that.
They're just hanging it on to being the Winter Soldier.
Exactly.
You know? Like. That's
tying that all together.
Yeah, they're trying to tie their movies together, which I get.
It's a great idea. I don't think it's a terrible thing.
No, I mean,
and you know what? Let's put it this way. Of course, there's always those comic book fans. Like, it has to be exactly like the comic book.
You're never going to get it that way. No. I don't care what anybody says. Like, what you have to take the cinematic universe and the comic universe, and they're two separate entities.
It doesn't translate well from page to screen as well. Like,
it
doesn't always do that. So you really have to take that in consideration.
Absolutely.
I don't think a lot of nerds do ever.
No, they really don't. No. Although I think they're more judgmental on that. Like, that's not what I read when I was a kid. No, you're right. It isn't.
Watchmen kind of fucked that up, right? Because I mean, and I know you fucking loved Watchmen.
No, I hated Watchmen.
No, like the comic books.
I love the comic books.
That's what I mean. Like, you love the comics and hated the fucking movie. I'm like, it wasn't a terrible movie for what it presented to me, someone who never read the comic books.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. It
wasn't terrible.
It was just, to me, it was boring. I think that they could have done a lot more with the property itself, like made it more interesting.
And here's the thing.
And they just missed on a lot of these very interesting details that they could have put in there that just didn't.
And unless you're going to do like a Lord of the Rings-esque, like 3-part epic, like story continuation.
But they could have.
Never gonna
That's the thing.
Could they have, honestly?
On Watchmen, I think they might have been able to. There was enough there to go off of. Yeah, maybe not 3, but they could have definitely made a sequel to it and made like the 2 of them being Watchmen Part 1, Part 2.
Part 2. And
then just clear it out. You know, just get that one whole thing in there. Get a lot more of the story. Not necessarily everything. I don't think everything needs to be in there. But more of the story.
Yeah. And not have, like, was it Osman, or what's the fucking Egyptian, Ozymandias or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Him being the big enemy at the end. I hear that's the big gripe for a lot of Watchmen fans.
Yeah, it really is. It is.
But anyway,
we're going back to a couple years ago.
We're gonna do this shit, guys.
It's gonna jump around a lot.
Yeah.
So right now we got Civil War on the back burner. It's coming out soon enough. Yeah. I think everybody's kind of getting excited for it. I kind of am. I know, like, Captain America was never my favorite, but I do. They've really turned me around on him as a character recently.
One thing I'm kind of worried about Is because I'm like, you know what? Yes, Civil War. I'm sure it's gonna be great. I never read the Civil War storyline, so for me, I'm just like, again, I'm kind of detached from it. But I'm really excited about, again, the Infinity Gauntlet. I want to see Avengers taking on Thanos.
That's coming.
And it concerns me how this movie is going to affect the dynamic between the Avengers and that movie.
You know, I honestly think it's not going to affect too much. I think they're going to probably do their normal Marvel thing right at the end of the movie. I like how they're not making you wait through all the credits anymore. They just make you wait a minute, and then they do the little scene.
True enough, right?
It's a little bit nicer, yeah. They're like, hey, let's not make everybody wait for 23 minutes to get to the end of the credits and see the scene. But then,
wasn't there a movie or two that had, like, still a little tiny...
Yeah, the Avengers 2 did that. That was just a joke at the end or something, which is still a nice little bonus for those people that do stick around.
Exactly.
But there probably is going to be something about... I bet you they're going to try and tie in Doctor Strange. At the end of the movie, I think they will. I think it's going to lead into the next, because that's what they do. They carry into their next movie, right?
No, very true enough.
I think there's going to be something leading into Doctor Strange, and I think Doctor Strange is where the Infinity Gauntlet is probably going to start kicking in.
Yeah, probably.
Like heavily, like because they have done a few little things, you know, like Loki's staff and like the Guardians having one of the stones, you know.
Yeah, and maybe like they have to deal with one of the stones because Dormammu has the stone in his dimension and shit. Or
so
whatever.
Like there's, I think,
yeah, you're right. They could.
I think they're going to do something with that.
Yeah.
I think they're going to mess around with that a little bit. Just a guess wise.
Sorry. So I'm super excited for that. And you're right. They really could go into the kind of.
I think that's what we're waiting for personally. It's going to get to that point where everything's going to be tied in. So, I would say personally, this next year is going to be a great year, but I honestly kind of feel that it might be close.
To be the better year. It might be.
I think we're going to get hit pinnacle at 2017, and then after that, I think we're going to have a huge fatigue on it. I think people are going to get kind of like, okay, I've seen it, I'm done. I don't need to get into the next phase because Phase 4, you know, like it's just right.
And you know what? We've kind of nerded about a lot about the because we need to kind of discuss the big DC one coming out. Batman v Superman.
Okay, Batman v Superman.
We have a lot to say about.
We're talking about Batfleck here.
Yeah. Okay, I don't mind Batfleck. To me, he's not going to be the issue. He's going to be the tiniest, most minuscule issue in that movie.
My question: does a world today need fucking Superman anymore?
No.
Superman was made in a time where superheroes were not realized.
Yeah.
They didn't know what it was.
They could do anything they want, right?
Yeah, and that brings me on to one of my biggest gripes about the DC Universe heroes. The only exception being Batman is they're gods. Always. Basically. They have godlike powers. They're indestructible. It's all of them.
It's funny, literally watching the Justice League War. At the end of it, fucking Wonder Woman goes through each of the Justice League members like, you're all gods. You're Zeus. You're whatever, Hermes or something.
And I'm just saying this because that's how I feel. I've never seen this.
Absolutely true. It's absolutely
They're all
true.
gods.
They've acknowledged it.
Yeah. They act like gods. They're indestructible like gods. The one thing DC does better than anybody else is their villains.
Yeah.
Are amazing. They've been able to come out with so many
their villains are more iconic than
by far, yeah. The villains.
Marvel
there's like a handful of Marvel villains that are like, wow, you know, like people are going to talk about your Doc Ocks. People are going to talk about your Magneto's. Yeah. People are going to talk about Thanos. But you can talk about Killer Croc. You can talk about like Deathstroke. Joker. You can Deathstroke, Harley Quinn. Like the list for them will just keep going and going. And each person that you say has a deeper depth of psychological problems that make them what they are. And I think DC has really nailed the villains.
But that being said, going back to the Batman vs Superman movie, why the hell did they show off fucking what's his name?
You're talking about what's his name? The one that killed Superman there. Why can't I remember his name? God damn it! I have his comic and everything.
Like I said, you're the comic guy, so I'm like.
You're talking. God, I'm gonna have to edit this out.
This bugs you a bit.
Yeah, this really is bugging me.
You can't just acknowledge that we forgot this.
No, I won't.
Doomsday.
Doomsday, thank you.
Fucking Doomsday.
Jesus Christ, why couldn't I fucking do that? This is what I mean. Like, I don't like Superman. I don't really like him as a... What they should have done is not showing him.
No, not at all. Because now I saw him and I was like, oh, they're fighting.
Okay, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be like an hour to 45 minutes of them versus each other.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
and then it's just going to turn right into Doomsday, right? Like, and that's what it's going to be. But like, oh, well, we have to combine our... No, if you're going to do it, just do the original story of Batman versus Superman.
And you know what?
As best as you can. Without, like, I know you're going to have to change some stuff. Yeah. But I can tell you right now, Doomsday was not part of it.
And they're trying to lead into fucking Justice League. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, guys, forget your ego. copy Marvel. Do a single movie for each character and then just lead the fuck in.
Bring it in.
Yep. Because I'm super worried that Wonder Woman, damsel in distress. She's going to be... I can see it already. She's not... To me, she just needs
Wonder
to be
Woman was
ass.
supposed to be like a very powerful female character, and one of the only ones.
Yes. She's an Amazon. She should be fucking taller than Batman and shit.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm like, the fact that they took this tiny little model, kind of upscaled her to match the size of them a little bit, you can see it too.
Yeah.
In the in the trailers and shit. It's terrible. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I was a little upset when I've been seeing what I've been seeing with it. And
Batfleck is not the issue. That's to me the least of my concerns in that movie.
Well, it's not the least of my concerns because I think Ben Affleck he's not a good actor for the most part. He's done some good roles.
He's the bomb in Phantoms, yo.
Yeah.
He's the bomb in Phantoms.
He's got his moments. Don't get me wrong. I like anything he's done with Kevin Smith.
Yeah,
Kevin Smith stuff is great. Kevin Smith knows how to write for him though.
Yeah. There's shit like reindeer games.
Yeah, reindeer games. And Argo, he did great in Argo.
Then there was stuff like Daredevil, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think he was the problem in Daredevil. He wasn't the issue in that movie.
No, it was the writing.
It was writing, art direction, director.
There was a lot. That was just a cesspool of bad ideas coming together.
It's like, we have this license, let's do something.
We have to do something is what it is. And that's kind of what's come down to with Sony too, is that they have this license, and if they don't use it, they're going to lose it, which is...
Or Warner Brothers, you mean? Or?
No, I'm talking Sony with the Marvels.
Oh,
if they don't use it, they lose it. So they constantly pump them out so that they don't lose it. I think that's kind of happening a little bit with... Or was happening at one point with the DC universe and stuff too. So
yeah, and that might be what fucking happened with this one, because I'm just like, hey, we got these characters, let's make... Because like I said, they're trying to do Justice League, and they're not fucking doing it at all.
They're just throwing everything together at this point.
Because the next movie's Justice League, and they're all there. And of course, they're not going to acknowledge fucking Grant Gustin, who's an amazing Flash in that Flash. Have you seen the Flash TV show?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god, dude, watch it! It's amazing.
I've heard
it's fucking
I know.
Outstanding. Oh my god,
I've got a buddy that swears by it.
Go watch it like after we're done. I swear, it's fucking amazing.
I've been hearing that from him. I also haven't watched Daredevil on there either, and I've heard that's great.
Oh my god, dude, Daredevil.
I know.
Even Arrow's pretty good. Like, I like Arrow. What's his face? Sean, what's his name? Stephen Amell.
Yeah.
Fucking dude is amazing as Green Arrow, and you know what? It's a different take on it. It's a more modern take on the character. And are they going to acknowledge it at all? Nope. Put a new guy in there. Just shove him in the role. It's like, god damn it, guys! Like, why can't they figure this out?
Oh, absolutely.
Why the hell can't they figure it out?
Well, I think that is going to be an absolute train wreck that we're going to be watching. I'm going to watch it.
And we're going to see it. We're going to have to go, like, what did they do?
Yeah,
because, I mean, we saw, was it Man of Steel?
Yeah, terrible.
It was fucking... okay, it was
you know what
graphically amazing. It was good to watch. It was popcorn flick. It was an absolute popcorn flick.
I don't think people need Superman. That's my issue. Superman... At this point in time, is just too boring. He's too much of a plain slate. You know, perfect. He's too perfect. He's a robot at this point. He may as well be.
Exactly.
So on to our next couple things, because we're running pretty close to the ending of our podcast. We can go overtime a little bit.
We can go a little longer, dude.
But I do have a couple more things here. One, I've got a little bit more topics on than you do, but recently we lost a true extreme sports legend. His name is Dave Mirra.
Yep.
For those of you guys that don't know who he is, he's a BMXer. I think he's won about 21 medals in his life.
X Games
and stuff. Yeah, more than Gravity Games. But I think it was like 15 of them were golds and everything else, like with silvers and so on and so forth. Really, really solid BMXer. One of the best. I actually, after he passed, I started watching some of the videos I have of him, because I got some of the older videos. So it was nice to be able to just kind of be able to pop those in and keep those things. And
you kind of see the stuff that like this guy pioneered for his.
Oh yeah, he was a pioneer for sure. Mm-hmm. The one thing I want to talk about is what I've noticed from watching his older stuff. This dude was one positive dude.
Yeah.
Every time he talked on the camera, because I've got like the Tony Hawk's gigantic skate park tour. Mm-hmm. Anytime he talked on there, because there was like little interviews in between, very positive and talking about influential, like how positive the BMXing has been for people around him. Like how it keeps him happy, how it keeps the people around him happy.
Well, and I think you found this with like a lot of like skateboard culture, music culture, even like art culture and stuff, where for some people where they have these families that like super close-minded, do not accept anything at all, just whether or not you want to talk about it being religion or whatever
it is,
it's a good outlet for people just to latch onto something, because let's face it, as human beings, we need a community. We need something to be a part of. And for shit like BMX, like I said, it's good to have that positive message and image from like...
You got some reinforcement from like these pros. So Unfortunately, about a week back, they found him. He'd self-inflicted gunshot wound in his car, which brings us on to this mental illness thing that has been prominent in a lot of news these days, especially with like Robin Williams and things like Dave Mera. Like it's a really, I think. In the past, it very much just kind of got brushed to the side as, oh, you can get over it. Just get over it.
Yeah.
And now people are starting to realize, hey, wait a minute.
Cheer up, eh?
Yeah, this isn't...
It's not that simple.
Yeah, this isn't how it works. I grew up with it with my family. You know,
I still deal with it, yeah.
Mental illness is pretty heavy in my family. It's heavy in my life. Like I personally don't suffer from it. I did, but I don't anymore. I've managed to get past it, and it wasn't an easy task. You know, I didn't want to do it with drugs. I had to do it in my own way.
And that's the thing, because those drugs are not really for everyone, right? Like, you know, and this is to say, like, if you're dealing with something, don't just ignore shit because of a conversation we're about to have. Like, go look into every possible means you can to get yourself help.
Absolutely. There are people there.
Whether there's, like, whether it's medication, whether it's talking to someone.
If there aren't people around you that can help you, you leave those people alone and you go to the people that can.
Exactly.
Because if they're not a positive influence in your life,
exactly.
And you need to. And I know it's not as easy as it sounds. You know, in abusive situations, it's hard to walk away from.
And sadly, sometimes it's not even that, right? Sometimes it's just shit that's going on in your head that's chemical. That's like, literally everything could be fucking perfect around you and you just can't feel it.
Absolutely.
And I mean, well, and it's something that I deal with it now. I fucking still get days where I get, like, I can't even fucking barely get out of bed. It's fucking terrible. And for me to just like, oh, like I said, just cheer up and buck up. Like, that's like almost the worst thing you could say to someone.
Yeah, it's just absolutely impossible. And it's not the thing they need to hear. They need to hear. I remember seeing a meme on something where it's somebody talking to somebody who's just completely depressed, and it says, "Are you okay?" And they say no, and then the next scene it's that person building a shelter for them to crawl into, and they're like, "Would you like to come out?" And they're like, "No,
I'm fine."
So they go and they grab a soda and they sit down and they get underneath there with them, and that's what I think people need. I think they just need the person to know that they're there, and regardless of who you are, what you've done, they understand and they'll be there for you. So it's a bit of a sad note. I know it's kind of like a little bit of a downer towards the end of this, but I just wanted to say, if you have some sort of issues, you have something that you need to talk about, please go get help.
Absolutely.
There's phone lines you can call. That's their job. They want to help you. It's not even a job. It's a volunteer process.
Exactly,
most of it, because this is what they want to do. They want to make sure that you're okay. A life is not worth wasting.
And you got to realize that, you know what, maybe someone doesn't understand your situation, but they've been in something similar. Whether or not it's happened to them personally or someone that's like in their life it's happened to, people will understand. And it's best for you to try.
Hey, just remember, River City Rabble loves you.
Absolutely, guys. Yeah, so rest in peace, Dave Mera.
Yeah, it's really
a loss. Sad.
And
especially, again, for someone who was so positive in his early career, to kind of end his life that way.
It's too bad.
It just shows, guys, just like I said, just get help. Don't always say you're fine if you're not. It's okay to be sad, guys. And that's a problem, right? It's like society's like, oh, you're sad, you're emo, you're an emo fuck, right? It's like no, there's a lot more to it than just I'm sad. There really is. So,
there really is.
Guys, get help. If you need help, don't worry about it.
Okay, so to less depressing news, tsunamis.
Tsunamis.
There's actually this is bringing on to like kind of like a paranormal thing that's been happening in Japan right now.
Okay.
After the tsunami, taxi cabs have been reporting taking ghosts on rides.
Oh,
have you heard of this yet?
No, I have not. But I've heard random kind of shit. Like Japan's a really kind of messed up place in terms of death.
Yeah,
it really is. Have you heard like the Death Forest?
No, I've heard of it. Yeah, the Suicide Forest.
Yeah,
there's a movie called The Forest that's based on it.
There's a lot of really messed up.
So this story that's being reported out is that in Japan right now there is taxi cabs will pick up a fare, and as they're driving, they just won't be there by the end of the ride. There was one noted case where the woman that got into the back of the car was asking if she was dead, and by the time he turned around, she just wasn't there anymore. And these are some things that are happening, and this is after the tsunami, right? After all that death that happened.
Yeah.
So I don't know what type of topic I really want to bring up here. This is just kind of like a weird thing that's been going on, and it's been like, it's not just one taxi cab, it's lots of taxi cabs out there that are saying this.
Have you ever heard of EVP?
Oh, yeah, of course I do.
Okay,
yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know, EVP is something called electronic voice phenomena. Basically, it's a theory, and not really a theory, it's something that people say you can just go do, and a lot of people report, hey, I
I've done it and I've gotten it, yeah.
I've gotten something. So basically what it is, it's the idea that you can take a recorder out to, let's say, someplace that's reported as haunted. The theory is that these spirits, ghosts, whatever, can kind of communicate and leave a mark on your recorder and leave a message for you. So, like I said, there are going to be people listening to this, like maybe even tune out at this point. Like,
yeah, this might be all
talking about ghosts. I was here for video games and shit. But it's like, no, like there is something to this. As much as people don't want to realize this, if you can go out and do that, and literally anyone can. Maybe not, you won't get it the first time, but if you do it a couple times, you might get a result.
It's a possibility,
and it's something to kind of consider, because a lot of times people get this stuff, and it's like people want to say, "Oh, you picked up some weird radio broadcast," or it's something just completely random.
And that's possible.
It is possible, but then there's a certain cases where it seems to be responding to you.
Yeah, when it gives that response, I've seen tapping and stuff like that in videos. Like, because this is something I don't know where I sit on this right now. All I know is that I've watched videos, and I think some of them are like really unexplainable.
Have you ever had any kind of like
I've had
paranormal?
Yeah, no, I've had one. Actually, I was hanging out with my buddy last night for the Super Bowl. He was the one that experienced it with me, and I brought it up at the table. Actually, I was like, "Hey, you can actually prove, like, say this happened.
I have backup.
You were the person." So I said to Steph, the time that we fiddled around with the Ouija board, my mom got it for me for Christmas.
Of course.
Yeah,
always play with those Ouija boards, kids. The Exorcist taught you nothing.
So my mom got me one for Christmas, and I guess it was a couple months later. I'm like, oh well, I may as well use it at least once. So I call my buddy Dave up, and he comes over. I'm like, let's just fuck around with it and fiddle. And we were starting to fiddle with it, and it kept spelling out the name Jill over and over and over again. We're like, what the fuck? And then Dave goes like, J's right next to the K. Are you trying to spell kill? And then my fucking computer's CD-ROM drive went in and out like 10 times. Like, just kept opening and closing, and like this computer was on.
Yeah.
So like it's not like it was off and it was doing this. Would be way freakier, but it's still pretty fucking freaky that this happened. So he was the only person that was there, and he was like, "Yeah, no, that totally happened. I was there," and he was the only person that I actually had a witness within. And
how many times, literally in your life, with your tower computer,
has that ever happened?
Opens up. Fucking while you're with the Ouija board.
Yeah, it never happens.
No.
So that happened, and what do I think of it? I really don't know. It freaked me out. It made me not want to fucking play around with Ouija boards ever again.
See,
so that was the last time I ever touched one.
I'm fucking Mexican Roman Catholic. So I had a particularly religious mother growing up who, like, fucking don't touch that. Mijo, don't touch it. Like, just fucking don't touch it ever. And honestly, I can see why. I've heard some pretty bad horror stories with Ouija boards.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I've never had any, like, scary situations happening. Mine's actually kind of a weird situation.
Sometimes people find them comforting, especially if it's with like a family. Like you feel like it's a family member or something.
Mine was weird like that. No, because I went to Mexico to visit family, and I'm let's put it this way before we even get into the discussion. I believe there's something out there. Whether or not it cares if I touch myself or I'm like, whatever.
No, you go to hell when you do that.
Oh, exactly, right? But no, like I said, I don't think whatever's out there would care. It's just I see intelligent design in our fucking universe.
Yeah.
Something created all of this. So whatever, for me,
I'm a strong believer in energy.
Exactly, I'm open to it.
Energy never dies.
Yeah. So I went to a church with my family just to visit it, just to like, for me, just like, okay, it's cool architecture. Let's check out this like 100-plus-year-old giant church. That's a beautiful piece of architecture. So I'm like, whatever, let's go check it out. We go into the building, and there's just kind of those conveyor belts at the airport. They're just kind of like on the floor. They carry.
Yeah.
So it's one of those into the entranceway. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm just kind of looking up, and there's this big thing of like the Virgin Mary, like that image that you always see in Latin.
Yeah, the popular.
Yeah, that one. So for some reason, dude, I just started bawling my eyes out. I don't know why. I was not emotional. I was listening to music, like fucking Incubus or some shit. Like I was just like, whatever. I'm like, they're just hanging out.
Just pardon me.
Yeah. Like, pretty much. And I just started bawling, and I don't know why. And like literally a few seconds later, composed, like it never happened. So I'm like, that was strange. Okay, let's just keep going, whatever. And we went into like the main hall with my family. I'm kind of standing off to the side. And dude, I swear, like I swear 100%. And this is the problem with your thing. You have someone to corroborate your story.
I got one person.
You have one person that can say this happened. For me, it just happened to me. So I can't prove this to anyone. But dude, I'm just like standing there, and I feel like an embrace, like someone hugging you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I started bawling my eyes out again. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Why do I feel that? What the hell? I've never felt that in my life.
Yeah.
And then my mom sees me coming over, and then like as soon as she kind of comes close, the feeling goes away. And I'm like, right now I'm like getting like fucking. But it was like, it was comforting, but at the same time it was freaky because I was like, what the hell was that? Like, you don't just randomly feel something like touch you,
Yeah,
right?
it doesn't happen.
No, never in my life, but this one time, dude, it freaked me the fuck out. Like,
oh, that's crazy. Giving it to you right now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, yeah, no, I thought it was something that I'd bring up. You know, like it's got a little bit of a bearing on what's been happening recently, and it's more of a recent story. But like to me, what my issue is like, why are the ghosts taking taxi cabs?
Yeah,
if I'm dead. And I'm like, hey, taxi.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's not the shit I want to be doing when I'm dead. You know, like there's a lot of other things I'd rather do.
Well, that just goes to show, like, fucking, again, going back to like hauntings and shit like that. When these things happen to you, what the hell? What makes your like body kind of stick around for that? Right?
See, my theory
is that energy? Like, is that just like a recording?
I think that's what it is. That's what I was going to say. Like, I think it's
an
an energy. I think it's something. It's pattern. It's memorization almost in the world. Your energy is going to continue doing what you do on a regular basis.
But how is it that it reacts to you sometimes?
That's a question.
That's the thing, right? It's like, how is it kind of having a conversation with you? Then with that moment where like, oh, it's fucking gone. It's gone, right?
Yeah.
So again, like it brings up all these questions, and we'll never know that kind of shit.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll fucking never know, but.
Right on.
Yeah, so that was Spooky Corner.
That was for you.
That was Spooky
That'll
Corner.
come up every now and again. I just figured it was a good story to have in there. But
again, we're gonna try to vary this up.
Yeah, a little bit. This is nerd stuff. It's just everything everywhere. So
fucking ghost nerdy.
You know, we're always interested in what you have to say. So we are getting close to closing this out. There is a couple things I want to kind of do in each episode. I'm going to give you some weird fact, whether it's freaky or if it's cool. I'm going to give you some sort of fact. I also want to recommend.
Ghosts are taking taxis in Japan, people. That's our random fact for today.
So music, people out there, I'd like you to go and check out a band. They're called Mother Mother. I just recently got into them.
Oh, nice.
Really good band.
Like what
check
genre?
out. I can't really explain it. The song I'm going to recommend is called "Get Out the Way." And it's very similar to a like Muse mixed with the Pixies. It's a really strange sound.
Kind of dark, kind of
dark, but really good. And like musically, like it's almost like spoken word at times. And then he sings. Like it's really really good.
So
Mother's the name of the band. I'm going to link them in the bottom for you guys to check them out. And to close it out, I'm going to give some random fact. I think we give you to do one every once in a while too. But I got a random fact that I'm going to give.
I kind of want to recommend something, dude. That show I was telling you about, watch fucking Narcos.
Yeah, Narcos.
Okay, anyone Netflix watch Narcos? Crazy ass shit. Fucking Pablo. Okay, do you know much about?
I know a lot about it.
Okay.
That dude was spending more money on elastic bands for his money.
That's insane. Okay, I saw this one thing where it was like, okay, Colombia has this like extradition law, right? He was terrified of going to the States, so he was like, I want to get rid of this law. I will pay off this country's debt right now.
And he could.
$12 billion. I'll pay it right now for you guys.
Yep.
And that would have been like pocket change for the guy, right?
Yeah, he would just been like, here you go. It would have made no difference. The amount of money that guy had, it was insane. The thing about
so much money
about
just to
Pablo,
give it away.
The thing about Pablo is that he put so much money into his community that nobody wanted him gone.
No one could
regardless of what he was doing, he was building churches, he was building schools, he was building housing, he was doing everything for his people so that they wouldn't expedite him.
Colombia in the 70s, 80s, this shit was happening was fucked.
Yeah, it's really messed up.
Holy shit!
But this show is based on this, so I've been told by many people I'm going to start watching it.
So fucking good. Like honestly, I'm watching. Like my mouth opens. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
So River City random fact, last one. And then I think we'll close out. Okay, this is Christmas carols. I know we're just right in Christmas, right? Well, a lot of people don't know this, but some people do.
Okay.
Where the origins of Christmas carols came from. Have you heard this one?
No.
Okay, so back when Jack the Ripper was around. Okay, so this is Jack the Ripper time.
Yeah.
He was, if you don't know what his story is or what he's done, he's essentially he killed hookers essentially.
Yeah.
There was one hooker named Carol that actually went missing. And back then, when you wanted to go around, you couldn't just knock on people's doors because nobody would answer their fucking door because they're scared of this Jack the Ripper character possibly killing them. So what people would do while they're searching for this girl named Carol is they knock on your door and they would sing, which was around Christmas time, Christmas songs outside of your door. So that way it could wear away the fact that it is not Jack the Ripper. And from that point forward... We now have Christmas carols, which would be done carolers, and that's why they got the name carolers because from the girl.
I swear, human culture, psyche, whatever, we're fucking dipped in misery, dude.
Yeah, we really
That's
are.
fucking horrible.
But it's in such a beautiful
cheery,
light right now.
best time of the year, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're just
We're just trying to let you know we're not Jack the Ripper.
We're not murderers. That's fucked up.
Yeah,
that's horribly fucked. That's like that ring around the posy shit.
Yeah, that's another one too.
That's fucked up. Holy
yeah, it really is. I think that's about polio, right? Is that what that was?
The plague actually.
Yeah, it was the plague. That's what it's
Black plague. Yeah,
Black plague.
If you had, like they said, like if you had posies, it would like stave off the infection.
That's how they felt anyway. They didn't really actually do it, but yeah, back then it was.
Although I wouldn't mind one of those.
Like they had bloodletting back then, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the big
masks. Oh, but I wanted those to be badass.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But anyway,
random facts.
Random facts. This was episode 1.
This is episode 1. Our little experiment here.
Yeah, we're trying this out. We'd love to hear what you have to say about this. I know it went on a little longer than we originally anticipated.
And we ramble a bit. So
and we're really bad at just shooting the shit forever.
Right.
But either way, it's been a lot of fun. I think we're going to keep doing this. We'll try and keep up on a regular schedule. We don't know what it's going to be yet, but
we're not going to kill ourselves like the goddamn YouTube channel. So once a month.
I think that's pretty fair.
2 weeks.
2 weeks to a month. We'll see how it goes. We'll try the 2-week thing, and if it's just too much, we'll do once a month. But I mean, we also got to make sure we have topics, right? So we got to give some time, let some time happen for things to come up.
And again, new processes. Guys, you're used to this shit with us. And again, if anyone fucking this to us, this is how we are.
Yeah, this is how we are. We'll eventually get to you, but sometimes it takes a lot longer. Like it has been a long spell without us here. So
that's what I mean. Like our YouTube guys, fucking. I hope you guys are still around. Thank you for listening. If you are,
thanks for sticking around with us. And either way, you have yourself a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Stay happy, and
see you guys next time.
See you next time.